And ask for the winning Whopper and get it for just 99 cents for a limited time only at Burger King.
6.5 million animals enter shelters each year, but only 3.2 million are adopted.
There's nothing sadder than a pooch with no home. Hi, I'm Donnie Day, and I own Donnie Day's Doggy Day Shelter off Highway 95. You can find big dogs here. You can find small dogs here. You can find so many dogs. There are too many dogs. There are frankly too many dogs. I'll take a dog with one leg. I'll take a dog with 3 legs. I'll take the 3 legs off of the dog who has it and give it to the dog with 1 leg. We'll take dog owners. I don't care. You can come here. You can roll around in the muck on the floors I haven't cleaned for 7 years because Todd left and he was our janitor, and he refuses to keep cleaning even though I never paid him in the first place. Come on, Todd. Get off your high horse and get on a big dog. 8-legged dog. Extra legs not guaranteed. People keep telling me you've got to give these dogs more space. No, there's too many dogs. There's not enough dogs. For every dog you give us, we will break into your home. We will take any other dogs you have, as well as valuables, free of charge. You won't even know about it. We'll break into your home at night, and we will take your dog. Even if you say, oh, please stop, don't take our dog. I don't care. I need more dogs. PETA came the other day. They said, this is wrong. You've got to shut it down. I shut the door on them inside of a cage with a German Shepherd. The German Shepherd wasn't trained. Blood everywhere. Blood and guts. That's what you get down at Donnie Day's Doggy Day Shelter. People tell me what I'm doing isn't charity. Pah! It's a hobby. So come down to Donnie Day's Doggy Day Shelter. It's rough.
All damages to property, pets, or owners fall under the First Amendment.
Brother, let me tell you.
Brother.
You a real ADHD person puts on one sock first, then their underwear, then takes off the underwear because they wanted to wear a different pair of underwear, then puts on a different pair of underwear, and then puts on the second sock, and then forgets to put on their shirt. So, I think I have Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I was like, is that ADHD?
I think that's dementia.
Or are you just really... Then I strip down and run into the snow. Like, wait, you have hypothermia? What do you...
I have such bad ADHD. It's just that, like, I throw up every 2 hours. I, cough up blood. It's like, dude, my ADHD.
My ADHD
right now,
is
getting...
It's been so bad recently.
Like, I just... You know that thing?
My hair is falling out.
Your hair is falling out.
I can't see. I have temporary
cataracts.
blindness.
That's another symptom of ADHD. It's like, ugh.
It's the worst.
And my pills aren't doing anything.
I know, all this Adderall that I'm taking.
All this Adderall I'm taking.
I'm just really focused on how much hair I'm losing.
Yeah, exactly. It's so
I keep pulling
weird.
it out.
I keep pulling it out, and it's just like, man, I'm going to be bald soon. But at least I won't have ADHD anymore.
Yeah, I'll be cured.
Are we recording? Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Welcome back, everyone. This happens every time.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's more fun. I feel like it's more fun when I don't tell you when we're starting.
Yeah. We forgot to sync the audio, actually, so.
Fuck!
There we go.
Jesus.
Just get that going.
Oh my God.
We had to sync the audio. It was either that or clapping. It was just expedited shipping.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, dude. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm just taking my own pulse right
Okay.
now. Fuck, Jordan! Oh my God. Fuck. How many do you have?
That was all of them. I don't have any more. I promise.
Oh my fucking God.
It's my birthday week. That's where we're starting out.
Oh, Christ.
Welcome back, everyone, to Close Contact. The
Okay.
show where Levi wishes he was in less close contact with
I
me.
wish I was farther away. Oh my God. I'm sweating really hard. That really
PTSD.
legitimately
My favorite thing to do is
scared
to
me.
bring firecrackers to like screenings of war movies and make them go off because I know there's going to be veterans in there.
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say the veterans home.
Yeah,
I love-
the
Yeah. Happy birthday. What? Just bring them right back to the
I like
trenches.
to remind people like what they've been through. I think it's a good thing to make people feel PTSD.
We should not forget our history. Never forget. Never forget. And that's why I bring firecrackers to the veterans home.
This is episode 12,
13.
13. We've done 13 episodes
episodes.
in
A year.
maybe longer. When did you start
Over
with
a
Jake?
year.
Over 2 years.
Over a year.
But you know, the frequency, it's an exponential curve we're going on. So you're gonna we'll do a podcast a day.
Eventually, we're going to be doing podcasts by the hour. Just
I'm waiting
churning
for
them
Levi
out.
to be like, yo, so I was thinking about scheduling, and I think we gotta do it every day.
I
We
think
just
like
need to pump-
I think you
that
need to
contact
quit.
out.
I think you need to quit your job and we need to live
we need
together.
to- we need You're
and
gonna live in this room and just film the podcast, and I'll come in every once in a while.
That
we
would
need a suckle on the teat of YouTube, I think is what you're saying. Would you say that?
I thought you were gonna say suckle on the teat of me. Like,
So Levi said that we're gonna suckle on the teat, which was a very rude way to put it, Levi. So I don't know why you used that language.
what's wrong with
but
suckling?
suckle? There are some words that should be illegal, and suckling is one of them.
I like to suckle.
There's one other. Hang on. There's one other word that I think should be illegal that I specifically wrote down.
I love suckling.
Grub. I hate the word grub.
You hate grub?
Like, who says, "Oh man, I can't wait to eat some grub"? It's like, shut up, dude.
I thought you meant like the literal grub.
No, I mean like grub in terms of eating food.
Oh, grab some grub. Yeah.
Makes me
I don't
wanna
know.
throw up.
Sorry, I've been playing with my water bottle this whole time because I'm really thirsty because I got really sweaty because I got really scared.
I got all of my fidgeting out with those two poppers right there. So those two
Yeah.
massive explosions I set off. So, yeah,
Trying to calm my nerves.
yeah. So it was my birthday.
It was Jordan's birthday. Woo! It was Jordan's birthday. Like
I turned 30.
Yep, like 6 weeks ago. Also, we're on a delay. I have to say.
Sorry, I was lying. I turned to 35.
Okay.
So-
yeah, that was. I was gonna let it slide. Personally,
I
wasn't
like
gonna,
to say that.
I wasn't gonna tell him. What was it like being born in? Fuck, I give up.
You give up?
I'm not gonna try.
Wouldn't that be like
I don't want
90,
It's 80 something.
93?
If you're 35, I think it's 87.
God, I can't do math. Why is it? Because I think of how do you imagine decades in your mind? Because I see it as like
Like the
calendars.
math, or what do you mean?
Do you? I visualize decades as like calendars, which makes it much harder to do the math. Because I'm like
Oh,
1900, 1910s, 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
you see like a bunch of calendars?
Yeah, I see a bunch of rows in my
Oh,
mind,
weird.
and then so it makes it hard to jump from like now, which is on a different page in my mind,
Huh.
and then go back to the other page and like
That's
try
a
and
trip.
count
You
that.
have a
So
very,
I'm
like-
really bad at.
You have a very visual way of
Yeah.
seeing. I just see years as numbers.
No, I've always seen them as spaces. Numbers, years are spaces, and
Well, I
History
mean,
and-
yeah, I guess that's interesting. Huh, I wonder if that contributes to like how you're able to think about history.
it means I can't figure out when my birthday
Can't
would be
figure out
if
when
I
your
was
birthday
35.
I think
so-
it is. I'm gonna double down and say it's 87 if you're 35. What were we about to talk about?
We were about
Your
to talk about how
birthday.
you embarrassed yourself in front of the person who does Why Do Countries Exist on YouTube.
This story is.
I'm ready.
We're gonna have to like. We're really okay.
You are so. I've never seen you this ashamed about something in a long time.
It's very bad. It's
Usually,
it's really bad. Jordan.
really.
Okay.
Okay.
So for Jordan's birthday, we decided that we were going to go bar hopping and finish at a karaoke bar. So we go through our bars, we go to the karaoke bar, and we're hanging out. It's pretty crowded, so we're kind of sitting in the back. We can't actually see the stage, but there's a monitor. We can hear the singing, and the monitor, it's just a TV. There's a TV up in the ceiling, so we're kind of watching the TV because the actual stage is around the corner. So I can see on the TV that there is someone singing on stage, and then sitting on the like literally sitting on the very edge of the stage is this clearly just like inebriated woman with her hands up, just it's pretty funny because she, as the person's singing, like she's kind of like getting in their way, and they're like having to like move, move as she's getting drunk on the stage. It was just really funny. So I take out my phone and I start taking a video of the. Do you know where this is going? Yeah, I start taking a video of the monitor because I'm like, oh, look at this drunk woman. It's so silly. And just for reference, it's a dark room. I'm a little tipsy, and the monitor's really low quality.
I know where this is going. This is so bad.
So then, after the song is done, the woman who was sitting on the stage gets up and walks out, or I see her walk out on the monitor, and then she comes by and walks past our table, and she has like serious, like I think she had a face transplant. Actually, like she clearly had like burns or something, like some serious injury, and had like scars on her face. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize that. And then I thought about it from a third person perspective. And basically, what it looked like was that I was just in public filming someone with serious facial deformities.
And I was like, Levi.
Having a good time.
I literally, like, I was like, Levi at one point because I saw you recording and you looked at me like, oh, and then put it away. Okay, so you didn't know.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
You know, I was thinking about that too. And it's like, why treat someone different just because of the way they look?
It's not. I think it is. It would still have been funny.
Yeah.
Even if I had known, I just wouldn't have filmed it because of the way that looks. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so.
You didn't know, dude.
I know.
It's not the worst thing you could have done. I thought you were gonna say you had an interaction with them, or they saw you recording something, or like no. Okay.
No, but that was just
good.
like, oh my god. Like I only after she rounded the corner, and then I just went back into conversation, and then like 30 seconds later I was like, oh. Oh my god. I think you noticed, but you must have known, but the other people didn't. The other people there did not pick up on that, because I told Carter, and Carter realized as I was telling him, he was like, oh my, yeah, that was so. I'm glad you picked up on it.
I picked up on it pretty fast. I was like, because I was watching the TV very intently for a while.
Oh,
so
I couldn't see her.
Oh, really?
I saw her on the TV. I just couldn't see. It was just
got it.
I just couldn't see her face.
But yeah. If you're out there, we apologize.
I'm so
for
sorry.
Levi's
I am
actions.
so sorry. It is pretty funny. It's pretty funny, but I am really sorry.
Well, since my birthday, I've taken up a new hobby.
Oh.
I've started needle felting.
You did needle felt. Oh my gosh,
I made a duck. Everyone. Hold that up
That's so
to the camera.
adorable.
So this is my first attempt at needle felting. I'm gonna call him.
Can I see him?
Yeah. I don't know what to call him yet. I think I had a name for him.
That's so cute.
Frederick, but yeah. And the goal is...
I love the way he's looking back on both sides.
Yeah, I need to fix his eye on that side. But for first time needle felting...
That's really impressive. And you got you have the proper dimensions of the anus.
Yeah, we're one step closer to close-knit.
Close-knit. Oh, it's so cute.
So that was fun. Take up new hobbies, people. Whatever it is. I want you... You know what? a message to our audience. If you haven't taken up a new hobby yet, find something new. I know you probably have some different. Let's put on the therapy. There we go. Welcome back to Therapy with Jordan. I want anybody here. As you can see, I made a very cute little needle felting creature, and I was a bit scared to start doing something new. You know, because you never know how it's going to turn out.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to the audience, but I'm talking to you as sort of
okay.
And you never know, like, it's sometimes scary to take that jump because hobbies can be expensive, but the benefits they have to your well-being and how you feel after accomplishing something new, well, isn't that just the best thing in the world?
I love that you're like, new hobbies can be expensive, but do it anyways. So
Do it
basically,
anyways.
you're just saying,
Bankrupt your
don't be
house.
poor. You're
Don't
like,
be
no,
poor.
just have money.
Just have money. Invest in some, businesses, Fortune 500, slowly build up your credit. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Get
and,
generational wealth.
And unless you spend a lot of money on your hobbies, they're not going to look good. I'm going to be completely honest. Like having a cheap needle felting kit, having a cheap, icky. So get yourself together, start making money, and then you'll have time to do your hobbies.
Icky? That's so funny. Just shaming someone for trying.
Can you imagine?
Ew,
Can you
gross.
imagine if you were in a therapy session? Okay, we're in a therapy session now.
Okay.
So. Oh wait, therapists are not supposed to talk. To start out.
Oh, you're the okay. Well, I've been trying new things like we talked about. Just getting out of my comfort zone. I feel like I was definitely afraid to try things because I didn't know whether I would be good at them or whether people would judge me. So I started doing needle felting, and it's not awesome. Like my work isn't great. I just can't really afford a good kit.
How much did you spend on your needle felting kit?
Well, after my expenses of rent and then food and childcare and then therapy, therapy is pretty expensive. I really don't have a lot of extra income, so I only spend maybe like $15 on my kit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's kind of icky. It's kind of gross. It's kind of. I don't know. I get that you want me to support you in this, but frankly, you get what you pay for with your therapist. So
This is what $5 therapy
this is what a $5 therapy. Oh, it's, ew.
Ew.
Ew. Oh my gosh.
So your therapist is so mean. They're like,
Ew.
why is this my problem? Like, I just lost my
We never talk about me. And I just want to say that while you're here, it's really hard to listen to your problems all the time. And you never ask me how I'm doing. It's really, really rude.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And
You're not the only person here.
And you just keep laughing at me. Just
That's so funny. Dude, that's how when I was in therapy, I would always start like that. I'd be like, what's going on with you? Like, I was so avoidant.
that's how I would do it.
I was like, tell me about your day.
Yeah,
What did you
what's
do?
going
And they
on
were
with you?
always like, that's not what we're doing. I was like, oh.
Would you say you have either maternal or paternal traits,
Yeah.
Mr. Therapist?
Just kidding. I'm like, what did you do this weekend? Like, I just want to I was just like treating it like a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it
I
is,
feel
I
like
guess,
it'd
but,
be
yeah.
awkward. Maybe we should do an episode where it's just me being silent and asking probing questions to you
Yeah,
because
just therapy.
just therapy.
Dude, what if we got my therapist on the podcast? What if we did a guest episode?
He would do it. How much do you pay him? $15?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to pay him more to come on.
Oh,
It's free
boy.
advertising though. Actually, I don't have a therapist right now.
Is that
Did
why
I
you're
ever-
doing the podcast?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I need.
What were you
I
saying?
need an outlet.
I'm your therapist.
You are now.
I should be no one's therapist. Let's make that abundantly clear now.
Did I tell you why I don't have a therapist right now?
No.
Okay. So I was seeing this guy for like I saw him 3 sessions. So first one was good. We ended up having a couple like weird things in common. Just like, oh, my son goes to UW, or my son went to UW, and like, oh, I'm from this area too. It's just like, okay, cool. It's like the first one's always like kind of getting to know each other, I feel like, because it is so conversational based. And the second one was all right. And then the third one, midway through, it actually came up that I do a podcast, or I do comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, I have a sketch idea. And I was like,
no way. What was the sketch idea? Let's do it. We're going to do it. You tell me the concept right now, and we are going to do your therapist sketch idea. And I will not laugh at whatever his idea is.
We're going to do it?
Okay.
Do you promise?
You're going to do right now, as soon as you say it.
You promise?
I promise.
You promise we're going to do it?
Yeah, what is it?
Okay. This is so fucking funny. So his sketch idea, he starts it by pitching like this. He goes, do you know how immigrant kids have to speak English for their parents? I was like, yeah. And he says, okay, so it's that, but the parents are autistic. And I was like, what? He's like, so like the kids like have to talk for them.
Okay, let's do this. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. Cut that.
You
Cut
promised.
That.
You promised.
Oh, God,
Okay, I'm gonna be the kid.
Don't you snatch the kid. I want to be the kid. You can't make me be the...
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyways, that's why I don't see him anymore.
Yeah, very
because
understandable.
I was
my
like,
god.
Yeah.
How do you recover from a therapist?
Therapist just damaged me.
I had one experience with therapy. Well, I guess it wasn't therapy because I didn't know there was a difference between psychology and therapy. I was
wait, like psychiatrist?
Yeah, I saw a psychiatrist. Which I thought,
is that not what a therapist is?
No.
What is that?
A psychiatrist is a lot more focused on the medical aspect of it and prescribing things, which I didn't know. So
that's interesting.
I go into this psychologist appointment, which I thought was a psychiatrist, and I thought it was a therapy appointment. And I join, and first off, I'm sorry, this psychiatrist was not good. It was over Zoom because it was the pandemic. And to give you a idea of what kind of headspace I was in at this time is I was taking 20 credits at UW every quarter for 2 years, and also doing the newspaper that we used to run, the satirical newspaper, and also working 2 jobs. And I was just so burnt out. So I was like, man.
And also it was the pandemic.
And also it was the pandemic at the same time. So,
right.
Not in a great place.
Yeah.
So I get on Zoom, and the psychiatrist had his phone pointed at the ceiling the whole time. I could not see him. I could see like glimpses of him.
Oh, that's so funny.
And it was like, what? This is how you start off? Like, I'm not even going to see your face?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, Jordan, I read through your questionnaire. Let's just go through this. And then he proceeds to ask me every single question on the questionnaire, the one that I already filled out. And then he was like, okay, so it sounds like to me that you have anxiety and ADHD. So I'm going to prescribe you some medicine. Here you go. And I was like, when do we talk? And he's like, so that's what a therapist does. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm like, oh, okay. And then we just ended the conversation. They said they're going to send me an invoice to pay it. And I was like, I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. So yeah, that was my experience with psychology.
Great. Well,
we are the first anti-mental health professional podcast. The first anti-audience and anti-mental health.
Psychiatry is fake science. I, mm, yeah, okay. Let's just talk about this because I've been thinking about this recently and I want to get your take on it because I think we have, from like just even one sentence you said earlier, I think we have a similar point of view on this,
Okay.
but, or at least from ourselves, we have a similar point of view, but on others, I'm interested. So, one thing that I have noticed a lot recently is more and more people, and this has been happening for like a while, like over a year, but more recently, I have seen people talking about how they are autistic. And
Mm-hmm.
people will say things like, "Oh, I have
I'm on the
this trait.
spectrum
I'm on the
and-
spectrum." Da, 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 da. And obviously, there are people exist who are on the spectrum, of course. And if you are on the spectrum, I have no like problem with
You
you
gotta-
telling people, like
yeah.
obviously. What gets tricky, I think, is because you can't like diagnose autism all the time, especially because it is literally a spectrum, right? There are I don't know. I was just going to try to explain the word spectrum, but there's no need.
Okay, yeah.
It's a spectrum. So you can be in a lot of different places and there's a lot of different traits that you can have. Where things I get a little bit uncomfortable sometimes though because a lot of people have been self-diagnosing with autism. Like people that I
Mhm.
know are like, "Oh, I'm like kind of autistic and like da 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 da. I'm kind
Yeah.
of this." And if I am not a fan of like the way that people self-diagnose because I think that while it's important for people who do have autism and who think that it is like they have a condition that genuinely affects their day-to-day life and their personality, like it
Mhm.
explains things about them, and knowing that you have autism and explaining to other people that you are autistic in some sense like helps to understand the perspective. I think that it's kind of taken on this thing where people have a trait about themselves and they immediately jump to, "Oh, I'm autistic." Like a lot of people that I have met have talked about how they have like they're like, "Oh, and it's the same thing with ADHD, I think. People are like, "Oh, I can't."
ADHD bothers me more because, well, I've gotten close to self-diagnosing myself, and it also is complex because I'm like, am I just projecting this onto myself to explain traits I have, or do I actually have it? And would someone? It's like the survey thing. Like if I tell someone basically I have all the traits of ADHD, and then they diagnose me with ADHD, then do I actually have it? It's
or
a very
Okay, so the point that I wanted to make, sorry, before we get too far away from this, is that the specific reason that I'm uncomfortable with people doing this is because I consistently see people talking about traits that of themselves that they view as negative and then saying, "I have this. I can't ever I'm so socially awkward. I have autism." Like I no one ever like it's always people coming at it from like, "I have this thing that I don't like about myself, therefore I have this mental condition."
Nobody is ever like, I have a really strict schedule and regimen. I have autism.
Right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing that I've realized recently that makes me uncomfortable is that people really almost use it as like they're using a condition or like like they're using a self-diagnosis of a legitimate like I don't know if it's like a condition. I don't know what the right word is. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not like a condition.
It's
You're saying that you are something as like an excuse almost for traits that you view about yourself as negative.
It's
you know?
really tricky to talk about. It's so like by person by person. I think the main thing that stands out to me though is that since our perception of mental health has changed over the past 30 years, you could have lots of family members that are older where you're like, "Oh, I think you've got this."
Yeah.
But it's never said. And there's probably lots of people in the past where they probably had conditions that we would now diagnose as autism, as something else that just weren't diagnosed as it, and they were just like a guy, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
The thing is that, like, I feel like mental health over the past, like, honestly, century has changed so much. I mean,
It's
lobotomies
changed over the past 10 years,
Yeah.
5 years.
But
the
like,
way
just
we
think
view
about like
mental health.
lobotomies going on in like the 1950s.
yeah.
Did you know that the people who did lobotomy, who invented the lobotomy, got the Nobel Prize? By the way,
Really?
yeah, they got the Nobel Prize.
That's crazy.
Insane, unhinged. But because of that, I think back then it was like nobody wants to talk about mental health. It's like
Right.
that I don't have it, nothing, you know.
Mhm.
But nowadays, since it's become so accepted, which I think is a good thing, people just, you know, and honestly, a lot of people probably do have like some form of it and have gotten it diagnosed. So I want to make it clear that we're not saying like if you say you have autism but you aren't,
Yeah.
like then that's
no,
not.
and I think it's okay. I think it's okay to, you know, be proactive about thinking about your mental health and thinking like, oh, I've noticed these patterns about myself. Maybe this is maybe I am this, maybe I am that. It's just that when people use it as a way to say, oh, this is why I have this trait that I view about myself as negative, that I get uncomfortable with it, because there are so many other traits that come along with other states of neurodivergence that I never hear anyone talk about. Like you talked about earlier, like, oh, I'm really strict on my schedule. I have autism. Like it's always, oh, I never know how to talk to people, or like I'm so awkward, or I never focus, or things like that. And it's like, well, yeah, those are symptoms of certain like neurodivergencies. I don't know. Those are symptoms of things, but it's always the negative that gets focused on.
I love when therapy with Jordan turns into us actually talking about therapy.
Yeah.
Here are some YouTube shorts that I found recently. I feel like I get the weirdest YouTube shorts. A lot of cooking ones, actually. Those have been nice. Nice change of pace. What have you been getting? I got The Hateful Eight 2 weeks ago, and then I just watched The Hateful Eight.
Movie, basically on YouTube Shorts.
I saw enough of it that I was like, I may as well just watch this movie. Yeah.
So I also got that. That's weird. I also got The Hateful
They're
Eight.
pushing.
It's
they
like
push
it's
stuff.
like the same. It's like the same algorithm for everyone.
Big Tarantino pulling the strings at YouTube Shorts. Here's our first YouTube short.
Okay.
You know, arthritis can be very painful, and there's different types of arthritis, but I think I have a solution. Actually, I know I do. It's called prayer. Prayer through the power and authority of Jesus Christ. And this prayer is actually going to heal you from suffering with arthritis from this point forward. Father, I thank you for every person that's watching this. I also command right now that every form of arthritis be healed in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Now receive your healing now. If you know that you're healed, type in the comments, I'm healed, like the video, and follow.
Check the comments.
It's what Jesus would want.
Check the comments. I'm healed.
I'm healed. I am healed. Dude, so many people are healed. I felt it shoot straight through my body during your prayer. I'm healed. So clearly it's working. I just thought arthritis, I mean, like, I don't want to jump too much into the pit of religion. That makes it sound like a pit. That's even worse. Okay, I don't want to jump too much into the topic of religion, but the pit. I'm like, how can I phrase this in the most sensitive way possible? I don't want to jump
dark
into
hole
into
of
the volcano
Christianity.
of Christian.
That is pretty fucking
From
funny.
Christian belief, Jesus had the ability to heal. Why is some white guy from Minnesota suddenly have the powers of Jesus and is able to transmutate
him.
it through? That is so messed up. Can you imagine believing in a higher power and then being like, he talks through me? How vain do you have to be to think that God cares about you specifically? I don't.
That's
oh my God.
That's just what the Pope is, Jordan.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of messed up.
How vain do you have to be? I'm like, dude, that is the whole structure of the religion. Is there are religious leaders?
It's like I'm too insecure to ever feel like God is talking through me because I'm like, I don't. Who gives me the right? What, like, Nah way he's talking. If like God appeared in this room and was like, Jordan, you shall be my messenger. I'm like, okay, but like, have you tried the neighbors? Like, because I feel like I just can't. Not my thing.
I'm too insecure to believe
I'm
that
too
God would ever talk to me.
Yeah, I don't think that. You ain't fooling me.
It's like one of those 90s or early 2000s high school movies where the girl is like, God will never talk to me.
I wish God would talk to me.
God's like, Susan, build an ark. Oh my God, we're going to the dance. No, Susan, I'm going to flood the earth. Build an ark.
For this next one, I want to say very clear out loud, do not make fun of children, okay? I don't think it's right to make fun of children on the internet. I don't want to become one of those channels like Ben Shapiro where they just like roast the younger generation.
Roast like teenagers.
Yeah, because you're still learning at that time. You're still growing as a person. You're allowed to make mistakes. I just saw this come up randomly in my feed. And like, she's a kid. She's a kid. She should be able to make these mistakes. She has 0 subscribers. It's just so shocking.
You are doing so much preamble to what is inevitably going to be us laughing at a child.
Shouldn't use emojis. My mom said, I didn't realize I'd stay in the hospital. Happy face tears. You realize it's happy tears emoji, right? Love you. No, it's crying. Love you too. No, it's not. Oh well, whatever. I'm sad. That's what I wanted to mean. This is the sad one. So close. What? They look very close. Oh.
What? Okay. Okay. We're going to blur her face because
We will
we're
blur
not
her
putting
face.
we're not
Yes.
putting a child on the internet
But-
on our podcast. That was so funny. Also, no context to like, wait, is she in the hospital?
She's in the hospital.
She's in the hospital.
And you're like, the
you don't
emojis you used were wrong. Let's
learn your fucking emojis, mom. She's like, I just woke up from the
cringe.
accident.
I like
LOL.
I just woke up from my coma. Sad emoji, sad emoji. Actually, that's the sad emoji.
Yeah, shouldn't you be happy right now?
It's the fact that she's so dismissive and this mom is just like, love you. And
I
she's
love
like-
you. I'm in the hospital right now. Learn your fucking emojis. That's so funny. That's funny as hell.
I realized that you got decked by a car, but what's more important is knowing
Got
your
folded
emojis.
like a goddamn omelet. Learn your fucking emojis, mom.
This is the next one. What kids grew up with versus dude, Markiplier, dude, Clarence, dude.
Holy shit. This has 800,000 likes.
I know, it's crazy, and it
This
makes me mad.
Must have so many. Must have like
Who is this
several
guy?
million views. Also, this is not that far apart.
Exactly. They're like maybe 5.
It's like
Minecraft.
a 5.
Minecraft
that?
was what kids are growing. Minion Rush.
The Minions? Okay, Angry Birds is like, but this is like the new. Yeah, what?
Why do Ninjago? Okay, it's just
Ninjago. It's
Nin-
Ninjago. I didn't watch it, but I
sorry.
know.
Ninjago.
Lego Ninjago.
It's just, I will never understand why people cannot get the concept into their heads that everything is always the same. You were just born in a different time. Everything that has ever existed has a modern day equivalent. You just didn't grow up with it, so you don't like it.
Like the lobotomy.
Like the
Now,
lobotomy.
I take Zoloft.
It's the same
It's
thing.
the same thing.
I mean, culturally.
It's the modern lobotomy.
Can you imagine if they advertised a pill and they're like, the modern lobotomy?
That would be great, actually.
That'd be
That would
great.
be
Okay.
so funny. That was hilarious.
That was fun. That was
so
fun.
much
I would
good
like
content.
to show more YouTube Shorts because I know they're going to blow up on YouTube Shorts. We must work the algorithm.
Yeah, we have to show. We should just react to more content. We should stop. Why are we trying so hard to make our own content? There is already
Yeah.
content out there that we can just put ourselves in
Exactly.
front of.
It's so much easier. And the best thing is you don't have to have a personality.
Yeah. which we're still
Your
working on.
personality is that you watch things, which is already kind of my personality.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of anything to talk about on this show other than the TV shows I've been watching
What if
lately.
what if we do wait, let's just recreate all the shorts that we just saw. Let's just do
Okay, let's recreate them.
We're just gonna do because why would we make our own content? Like
You're right.
that
Let's
content,
just steal other people's content.
yeah, that content is
Okay.
already successful. Okay. I have been feeling a pain recently. A pain for my brothers and sisters out there with arthritis. But I have a cure. Jesus.
Jesus H. Christ. Is his name H? Jesus Holy Christ, right?
Jesus. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Hugh.
Hugh?
Yeah.
Jesus Hugh Christ?
Yeah, is it not H-U-G-H? Hugh?
Jesus' middle name is Hugh?
No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. That'd be great. That would be really
Okay.
fucking funny.
We want to heal your sniffly nose. No more sniffles for you.
No more
No more
colds.
sniffles.
Yeah, sorry. Arthritis is too big of an ask
Yeah,
for Jesus.
Okay, hang on. We
We are
have
going-
stub toe. Stub toe.
Pollen allergy?
Pollen allergy.
That's like a serious.
Okay,
that's
let's
a
go, let's
serious
go, let's
one.
go, okay.
Okay, so all of you snifflers out there.
All you sniffly little snakes.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you in our libraries, on our buses.
Yeah.
We are tired of it, and we know that you are tired of it too. It pains you to suffer, but we have a cure.
Should we say it at the same time?
3, 2, 1. Jesus. Jesus is your cure.
So
And-
just, holla at your boy Jesus and maybe you can get your sniffles
Holla.
fixed.
Praise Jesus. May he cure your sniffles.
No sniffly iflies when Jesus is around.
No sniffling. Feel it shoot through your body. The power of Christ compels you to stop
That's
sniffling.
when you're doing an exorcist. Okay.
Oh.
Let's move on. I want to talk about the Crusades.
Oh, right. Okay.
The first Crusade, what you need to know is that basically
What?
the Middle East, what?
I just I just want to make it clear from the start. I have no historical knowledge.
Okay. Do you know the general surroundings? So back then, which is around the 1100s,
Okay.
is where most of this takes place, going into the 1200s.
Okay.
Basically, what's going on is that there's Christianity and there's Islam,
Okay.
and they're kind of encroaching on each other. Islamic people are kind of moving, trying to sort of take sections, and they eventually take a good amount of what was originally Christian territory. And at the time, the church was separated into the Western Church and the Eastern Church.
Sorry, what territory? Like, where is this territory now?
Hang on. Oh, it's like stretching. So the Islamic army took Spain basically now, and that's as
wow.
high up as they got. But they had
Oh.
control over North Africa and Jerusalem and sort of the Middle Eastern area. That's what they had, and then all of Europe is Christianity.
Besides Spain.
Hmm?
Besides Spain.
Besides Spain, it's like parts of Spain. But then
okay.
it's also half is like the Eastern Church and half is the Western Church. I need to jog my memory about the differences between them. It's not sort of a huge deal for what I'm doing here.
Okay.
I'm just giving a general idea of how these wars went. But you just need to know that there's an Eastern Church and a Western Church, and they have differences over what they think about. I took a Christianity course. It was
Okay.
pretty specific and boring. If you're looking from a bird's eye view, it's like, oh, they're both Christian, but there's lots of specific stuff that they're like, oh, we don't think this, we don't think this.
Yeah, we don't think that your
Yeah.
prayer can be healed
And I
through
just
YouTube
wanna...
shorts, and we believe that arthritis can be healed. Healed.
Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox. Roman Catholic is the Pope.
Okay.
So, the First Crusade was a complete surprise attack because
What is a crusade?
a crusade is a holy war that is enacted by the Pope in order to spread Christianity, but mainly kill Islamic forces.
Right.
And it is specifically the Christian side of things that is calling it a crusade.
Okay.
And it was a call to arms to everyone around the country, usually alliances between other European countries and between the Eastern and Western Church, to basically be like, hey, Islam is spreading too close into our region. We need to take it back. They were specifically focused on the Holy Land. So what you need
Jerusalem?
most of the Crusades, are on getting Jerusalem.
Okay.
So Islamic forces had Jerusalem already, and they basically run in there right after the leader of the Seljuk Empire died. So it's like a very prominent leader just died, and then also a bunch of other powerful political figures in Islam died. And then a bunch of Christian, like, random armies just come in and just absolutely slaughter, like,
Okay.
everyone in the Holy Land. Like, just, it's really brutal, really bad. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? They're like, crusade! And it's like, we don't even know what that word means yet. Like, they just did a surprise attack, and they win. And they're like, oh my god, it's because we had God on our side. It isn't because we literally just went over here without, like, mentioning everything. Nobody knew it was gonna happen, and, like, just... So it was technically a success, the first crusade.
Okay.
But I mean, also it was what I would call a dick move.
Yeah.
The second crusade.
As a historian, I'd qualify that as
A
kind of a dick move.
The second crusade
Oh god.
is basically is the one that nobody talks
the
about.
Second Crusade is based. Is that what you?
No, is based.
So
No, it
you-
is not based.
The Second
We will-
Crusade is hella
We
based,
will get
bro.
there is a crusade that is based, and we will get to that. So the first crusade took place 1100. Second crusade is 1147 to 1149. So you'll notice that's a very short time frame, and that's because they basically got nothing done. I should clarify. They weren't trying to take Jerusalem in the second crusade.
Okay.
But they were trying to take other areas, other Muslim states.
Okay.
And they just show up to a bunch of these cities, and they're so, like, ill-fed. They are just completely incompetent armies because they didn't prepare well to make that journey. And basically, it gave the Muslim leaders, like, oh, these people ain't shit. Like, they took the Holy Land. Oh, it was a surprise attack. You know what? Why don't we, like, actually do something here? So then, after the Second Crusade, they retook Jerusalem. And then the Third Crusade happens. And the Third Crusade is very funny. Because
Is it
it's like,
based?
It is not based.
Oh,
It is not based. So you had 3 kings. This is known...
Is Saladin still alive?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay.
We have 3 kings
Okay.
involved. It is usually called the King's Crusade. And it has the Holy Roman Emperor, Frederick I Barbarossa, which I love his name.
Frederick.
Philip II, the king... Sorry.
Dude,
King of Germany.
Let me ask you a question. Did they just have like fewer names back then? Is that why there's more like first and seconds? Like they just didn't invent all the names?
It was to tie yourself to usually a more powerful person.
Okay.
So you would have people who was like, oh, I am like King James II.
Right.
Forget about that other guy that came before us that wasn't as notable. You know, it's kind of a way to
Okay.
add, like, it'd be like naming yourself Trump 2 in modern day. It's like, oh,
Trump 2?
he's Trump 2. Okay.
Instead of Donald, dude, what if Donald Trump Jr. was just
Trump
2?
2. Like,
Why are we doing junior senior? It should just be numbered. It should be numerical. 1, 2, 3.
oh, I guess it would be Donald Trump 2.
It's better
Because
with
it's
just
like
the last name.
versus, like, you know, there's other Trumps out there that nobody
Yeah.
cares about. If you're Donald Trump 2, then you're like, oh, you know.
I'm Donald Trump too.
So you had Philip
The
II
sequel.
of Germany, and then Philip II of France, and then Richard I of England.
Mhm.
And in spring, Frederick I Barbarossa, Holy Roman Emperor, left. So think about this, spring.
Okay.
In June, he drowns by falling off his horse. Or maybe he had a heart attack while swimming. We're not really sure. And then also, everyone in his army got dysentery. I really want to believe that it's because they drank the water near his corpse and they just didn't know. I don't think it was that. But anyways, so
Okay.
so then the other armies come down. They're like, okay, shit, like our king, this guy is dead. Like the reason, by the way, that they had kings leading them is because it was so unpopular, the last one, because they were so bad that they were like, let's put a king out there so that everyone will be like, woo, we've got the king with us. It's like the president is launching a war with the soldiers. It's
Right.
like, damn, this is like
We're
getting
serious.
people together.
We're
Yeah, we're
serious
serious.
this time.
So they like fight over a few states, and then basically King Philip had to return home because there was political problems. So then there's only one king left waging the war. They kind of get close to Jerusalem, and then there's like a bunch of like throne issues in England. So then Richard the First just leaves, and it just ends. Like they don't get anywhere near Jerusalem. They fight over some satellite like kingdoms nearby, and then just like we got other stuff going on. We're so sorry. We
We're
kind of don't
busy.
want to do this. Which begs the question as to why he would launch a fourth crusade.
We're on to the fourth one.
When the first one was won by a surprise attack, and the other two were complete failures that led to the death of the king of
Okay,
the
so
Holy Roman Empire.
right, so the first one was a trap. The second one, complete. They just all starved. They
were just ill prepared. Nothing
ill-prepared.
happened. Yeah,
And then the third one, they just were like,
they lose
they
Jerusalem
just
in
gave
between the
up.
second and the third.
They
and then-
keep losing it, and they're just like, and then they come back together, and they're like, oh, but I have other things to do.
Because you hear Crusade and you think of this mighty war, and that's like the thing. The marketing of war is so interesting because now we think the Crusades, this big
Crusades.
battle that was fought like two powers, and then you look at and read about it, and it's like these are dumb fucking people trying to like do absolutely
failed.
nothing.
Failed.
Yeah. So the Fourth Crusade,
Fail
was-
completion, fail completion.
Fail completion, the
Crusade,
Crusades.
fail completion.
So as you remember, the Third Crusade ended in 1192. And the Fourth Crusade starts in 1198. The way they got people to fight in the Crusades is they would be like, listen, if you do this, you will have a special place in heaven.
Oh, interesting.
But popularity got so low after the Third Crusade that they're like, you can pay someone to go for you and you will still get into heaven.
That's awesome. That's
So
great.
it's like you told Jeff Bezos, hey, you want to make it into heaven? Why don't you send like 5 soldiers into Afghanistan? And he's like, oh, yeah, let's do this.
Sick.
Oh, yes, I've been waiting for this moment.
Okay, so he's literally, so now people can literally buy their way to heaven.
Yeah, basically they said you can buy your way into heaven. Sorry, I got this wrong. The Fourth Crusade happened in 1202, and keep in mind that the Jerusalem had been held by the Muslims since 1187.
Okay.
So it's been a while. So basically at this point, all 4 monarchs in the kingdom, like England, France, Germany, and Spain, were just busy. They had other stuff going on. They're like, why are we still doing crusades? And there was some fighting in between each other too. So they refused to do another crusade. And as a result, some random aristocrat named Marquis Boniface of Montferrat, who is just like the king of this small area in Europe, basically like, let's imagine a millionaire today versus a billionaire. Was like, we are going to war. We are launching a crusade. It's like, okay, dude, sure, whatever. So this
An entrepreneur. Dude, imagine like a YouTube entrepreneur being like, we are taking back Bolivia.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like you. Okay, sure. Yeah, you put this all together. Why
all
not?
right, like-
Everybody else doesn't want to do it.
David
so-
Dobrik just
Dobrik
being
launched-
like, we are taking Central America into
Mr.
our own
Beast is
hands.
like, I took back Afghanistan for America. That's the next Mr. Beast video.
That would be so fucking funny. Oh my
I reignited the Gulf War. You wouldn't put it past him, would you? Imagine
No,
that thumbnail.
no,
And you
that
know they make
thumbnail would be
7 versions of
crazy.
every thumbnail, so he's gonna have 7 versions of him.
That is so funny. Oh my god.
Okay. So in 1202, they're leaving from Venice to Europe.
Wait, does he have an
To
army?
Egypt, sorry.
Who is he? Who is this aristocrat?
This guy just put together an army and the Pope helped.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
usually like peasants who are like, I want to make it into heaven, or people who were paid to go in, like the kings of other countries that are like, we're not involved. We don't want to get involved, but we'll like, okay, sure, we'll like send some soldiers over there.
Okay.
So it's this like coalition of random soldiers.
Coalition
basically.
of the willing.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to Egypt. In this part, I have to actually read out loud from my research because it's a bit complex.
Okay.
So the Venetians insisted that
yeah.
their 240 ships be paid for, but the Crusaders could not meet the astonishing asking price of 85,000 silver marks, which was double the annual income of France at the time. So a deal was made that in return for passage, the Crusaders would stop off at Zara on the Dalmatian coast and reconquer it for the Italians, which recently defected to the Hungarians. So they go to Zara, the place that they're supposed to reconquer, to the Italians, and basically they just absolutely destroy it. Like, they're not even attacking, like, they're just like, it's so fucking
Ruin
like,
the city.
looting, like, just they're just pissed off that they like are in debt now, and the Pope excommunicated the Crusaders and the Venetians.
Okay, so basically they were like, okay, to get to Jerusalem,
We
take
gotta do
this
the
back.
side quest.
So they did the side quest, fucked it up so badly that the Pope was now like, never mind.
This is off. We are not
This is
doing
off.
this.
I don't
hate
know you. I don't know
Venice, I hate you too. Like, it's ridiculous. So then they go to Constantinople.
Okay.
The Crusaders are like just jumping around. They go to Constantinople, which is part of the Eastern Church. This is the Western Church, and they sack it. They take over the city of the Eastern Church,
Okay.
which is their ally.
Okay.
And it caused the Great Schism, which led to a key turning point in the decline of the Byzantine Empire and Christianity in the Near East.
Oh,
So
okay,
they just
cool.
dunk on Christianity, basically.
They self-dunked on their own religion.
Never made it to Jerusalem.
Okay.
They weren't even close. And I think it's so funny that we consider this to be a crusade when nothing happened. The Islamic people probably didn't even hear about it until they
They
heard
didn't
that
even know.
Constantinople was sacked, and they're like, what the hell? Oh, they were headed over here? Like, oh shit, okay.
Is there another? Which
There
is the
is
based
one-
crusade?
The based crusade is also called the Children's Crusade.
Okay.
And I want you to go on a guess as to what the Children's Crusade was.
Okay. Either. No, I'm just gonna say I think children were fighting. Yeah.
Well, the goal was to get children to fight, because as the story goes, they're like, maybe the reason we've been doing so badly at these crusades is that we're not using people that are pure of heart, people who are pure to God. Do you know who is pure? Children.
That's so. Oh my god. Okay.
So, this guy, a shepherd from the Rhineland in Germany, tried to leave a group across the Alps into Italy.
a
and
group
this is
of children.
it's like a bunch of teenagers and random people, but there's also a lot of children involved.
Okay.
So this is in 1212, and it's called the Children's Crusade. It's like been mythologized a lot, but this is the actual accounting.
Okay.
And he said that the sea would open up to them and allow them to walk across to get to Jerusalem.
Like
when they
Moses.
got there. Yeah, exactly. They said, like, God is on our side. And they get there, and obviously it doesn't open up, and everyone is mad at them because there's been a lot of people that died on this journey across the Alps to get to the sea. And then,
Dude, how? Like, what was his plan? Like, obviously, he just
he had a
legitimately
plan.
believed it. Like, he must have really believed that
legitimately
was going to
believed this.
happen.
So then the group breaks up, but the important part is that there was some people and children who some merchants were like, hey, we'll take you to Jerusalem. And they're like, okay, never seen again, probably sold into slavery.
Wow.
That was the Children's Crusade. And also this guy was hung. Because everyone hated him for like putting families and children through this.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
Oh,
He wasn't hung. His father was hung.
damn.
So they were like, no, we're going putting you through the same
first
pain of
number one.
Yeah, number one. So yeah, that was my little topic on the Crusades. I try to get as factually accurate. I do want to
Great.
shout out the website I got all of this from, because I hate it when people just like steal information basically, and it was my own. I got it from
Wikipedia.
That was Jordan's History
History
Corner wall.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was cool. Actually, I
I'm
know.
glad you enjoyed that.
I know
love-
so little about history that it's very entertaining getting to hear from someone who knows what they're talking about.
I would love to tell more about it. That was a bit rough because it's been a while since I researched the Crusades.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some topics from like the Civil War or World War II that I would love to jump into and just have a little history column going on.
Yeah, a little history column. Did you were a history major, right?
I was a history major. I
Yeah.
majored in history. And I am now an accountant. So
Yeah.
but it's
That's
really
cool.
cool. It was what I was really interested in, and I was like taking accounting courses on the side.
Yeah.
But
No, I hear
Yeah.
you. I mean, I majored in biology and now I'm in sales.
I love that for you.
Here we are.
People, fellas, let's take back. It's time for the therapy hour again. Guys, your major, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, you should do it.
Yeah. All that
Exactly.
matters is how big your penis is.
Thank you for watching Close Contact.
Oh, Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check your own penis size before you know whether you're a good person or not, I guess. I don't know.
Levi is gonna sing us out. Sing us out, Levi.
Okay.
Sing us. Levi,
like
everyone.
the theme? The theme song?
Sing something.
Okay.
Woo!
Waka, 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 fuck the police coming straight from...
Okay.
Okay.
That's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Bye.
For that. Bye.